Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you one question. What if today was the day everything changed? What if this very moment became the turning point, the spark that ignited the fire inside you, the one that's been smoldering, waiting, longing for its time? You're not here by chance. You're here because deep down you know you're destined for more. You feel it, don't you? That stirring inside you, that whisper that says, I'm meant for greatness. But here's the challenge: most people die with their dreams still inside them. Not because they weren't capable, but because they didn't decide. Today we're not here to settle. Today is your date with destiny, where excuses end and transformation begins. This is not just a speech, it's a call to action. If you stay with me, I promise we'll uncover the unstoppable force within you and break through the barriers holding you back. Every life-changing moment begins with a decision. Think about that for a second. The moment you decide, everything changes, not because the world around you transforms instantly, but because you transform. A single decision made with unwavering conviction has the power to alter the entire trajectory of your life. Let me be clear, we're not talking about everyday choices like what to eat or what to wear. These decisions are important but routine. The decisions that shape our destiny are different. They're the ones that make you pause, the ones that ignite something deep inside you. These decisions demand your courage because they often involve risk, sacrifice, and stepping into the unknown. Why is it that so many people hesitate to make these life-defining choices? It's because they've bought into the illusion that staying in the middle, avoiding the extremes, and playing it safe is the way to happiness. But let me tell you, the truth: indecision is a decision in itself, a decision to stay stuck. When you stand at a crossroads, you're faced with a simple truth: you can choose to step forward into growth or retreat back into comfort. There's no neutral ground. Choosing not to decide is choosing to remain the same. And for many, that's a slow drift away from the life they were meant to live. But here's the incredible thing about decisions: you don't need a perfect plan to begin. You don't need all the answers or an ironclad guarantee of success. What you need is belief in your ability to figure it out along the way, belief in your strength to adapt, and belief that you're worthy of the life you envision. Look back on your life for a moment. Think about the pivotal decisions that brought you here today. Maybe it was the choice to pursue a dream, end a toxic relationship, or take a leap of faith when everyone else said it was impossible. Those moments defined you because you decided not to let fear dictate your future. But here's where most people fall short. They think that making a big decision once is enough. It's not. The truth is, destiny isn't shaped by a single choice. It's shaped by the decisions we make every single day. The decision to show up, to push through, to keep going even when it's hard. Each decision adds to the momentum, and that momentum creates your future. You have a decision to make right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Will you decide to step into the life you were meant to live? Or will you let the moment slip away, waiting for a better time? Let me tell you something: there is no better time than now. The power of decision is the power to claim your destiny. It's not in the stars or the circumstances, it's in you. One decision, made with certainty and followed with action, can change everything. Are you ready to make it? Inside every single one of us lies a force so immense, so powerful, that it could redefine everything we know about ourselves and what we're capable of achieving. This force is your inner strength. It's not some abstract idea or motivational fluff. It's the very essence of who you are when you strip away the doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs that have been layered on over the years. I think back to a moment in your life when you surprised yourself. A moment when you dug deep and did something you thought you couldn't. Maybe it was standing up for yourself when it mattered most, finishing a task that seemed impossible, or showing up for someone you loved despite your own struggles. In those moments, you weren't relying on external help or guidance. That was you, the unfiltered, unstoppable version of yourself. The truth is that strength has always been there, but why don't we feel it all the time? Why do we so often feel small, helpless, or overwhelmed? It's not because we lack strength, it's because we've forgotten how to tap into it. Over time, we've been conditioned to play small, to avoid risks, and to accept the limits imposed by others. Society tells us to stay within the lines, to follow the rules, and to avoid rocking the boat. But the price of that conditioning is immense. It's the suppression of your true power. Your inner strength is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it atrophies. But when you do, when you push yourself beyond what you think you can handle, you discover that the limits you believed in were nothing but illusions. Strength isn't built in the moments when everything is easy. It's forged in the fire of challenge. It's in the moments when you feel like giving up but choose to take one more step, one more action, one more chance. Here's the incredible part. Your strength isn't just physical or mental. It's emotional, spiritual, and deeply connected to your sense of purpose. When you align with what truly matters to you, your strength multiplies. Think about the parent who lifts themselves out of bed at 3 a.m. For a crying baby, the athlete who pushes through pain to achieve a lifelong dream, or the activist who faces adversity because they believe in a cause greater than themselves. What fuels them isn't willpower alone, it's their connection to something bigger. That connection exists for you too. The question is, are you willing to reach for it? Are you ready to stop waiting for permission and start embracing the strength that's been inside you all along? Life will never hand you the perfect conditions to test your strength. Challenges don't come wrapped in a bow, they come disguised as obstacles, heartbreaks, and failures. But every challenge you face is an opportunity, a chance to prove to yourself what you're made of. Your inner strength is not just a resource, it's your birthright. And the moment you decide to claim it, everything changes. It's time to stop underestimating yourself. It's time to rise. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that holds us back from achieving the life we truly want. But here's the kicker: fear is often nothing more than a story we tell ourselves. It isn't always grounded in reality. It's a sneaky, invisible force that whispers in our ears, convincing us that we're not ready, not good enough, or that failure is just around the corner. But fear isn't the enemy, it's the messenger. It's showing up to warn us, but we have the power to decide how we respond. And when we stop letting fear control us, we step into a new realm of possibility. Let's be real, fear feels real. It hits us physically, it makes our heart race, our palms sweat, and our minds go into overdrive. But fear doesn't have the power to stop us unless we give it permission. When we face fear head on, we realize something amazing. It's often exaggerated. Most of the things we fear don't even happen. And the few that do happen, we survive, we rise, we adapt. Think about some of the fears you faced in the past. Maybe it was the fear of starting a new job, speaking in front of a crowd, or making a big life change. At the time, the fear felt all-consuming. It felt like an immovable wall, a giant mountain that you would never be able to climb. But once you took that first step, just one small, imperfect action, something shifted. That wall didn't seem so high anymore. The fear didn't disappear, but it became manageable. You learned that the way through fear is to move forward despite it. Here's the truth: fear is a natural part of life, and we should never expect it to go away completely. It's a sign that we're stepping outside of our comfort zones, that we're stretching beyond the boundaries of what we know. Fear shows us that we're on the edge of something important, something new, something that will force us to grow. The key is to stop seeing fear as a signal to turn back. Instead, we must train ourselves to see it as a cue to move forward. Every time you choose to act in the presence of fear, you build a muscle. That muscle gets stronger with each decision, and the next time fear shows up, it'll be easier to push through. When you allow fear to hold you back, you're essentially giving up on your potential. You're allowing something that doesn't even exist in the present moment to dictate your future. It's like waiting for a storm that never comes, or worrying about something that's still in the realm of your imagination. When you stop fearing the unknown, you free yourself to embrace the possibilities that are waiting for you on the other side. The only way to outgrow fear is to take consistent action, no matter how small. Fear thrives on inaction and avoidance. But once you face it, take that first step, or speak that first word, you'll find that fear doesn't have the control it once did. You start to realize that you can walk through life with courage, not because you're fearless, but because you know how to move forward even when fear is present. Your destiny doesn't lie in the land of comfort, it lies in the land of discomfort. in the place where fear has no power over you. The more you embrace it, the less it will have a hold on you. Living with intent means living with a purpose, a clear direction, and a vision for the future that guides every thought, action, and decision. It's easy to let life happen to you, to drift through the days responding to whatever comes your way. But when you live without intention, you're at the mercy of external forces, circumstances, other people's demands, the pressures of society. You let life pull you in 1,000 different directions, and before you know it, years have passed and you find yourself asking, where did all that time go? But when you live with intent, everything changes. You take control of your narrative. You stop reacting to life and start shaping it. You begin each day with a sense of clarity and purpose, knowing exactly where you're going and why. This sense of intentionality creates an undeniable energy. It makes you unstoppable. Living with intent means aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. It's not enough to have big dreams and goals if you aren't taking consistent, purposeful steps to get there. Every day is an opportunity to either move closer to or further from your vision. Every decision, no matter how small, counts. It's in the little things, the way you spend your time, the people you surround yourself with, and how you choose to show up in the world. Imagine having the clarity to make decisions with confidence. You're not swayed by fleeting emotions or the opinions of others. You make choices that are aligned with your deepest desires, your values, and your goals. You're not influenced by fear, doubt, or the pressure to conform. You are guided by an internal compass, one that directs you toward growth, fulfillment, and success. Living with intent also means being present in the moment. Too often we get caught up in the past or the future, worrying about what went wrong or what could go wrong. But when you live with intent, you release the grip of the past and stop anxiously anticipating the future. You embrace the present, knowing that the actions you take today will create the future you desire. Intentional living also requires discipline. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of the world. The constant barrage of information, the demands on your time, the endless options and opportunities can leave you feeling overwhelmed. But when you know exactly what you want, you become immune to distractions. You say no to things that don't align with your vision and say yes to things that move you forward. This doesn't mean you need to have everything figured out right now. Living with intent isn't about perfection, it's about focus. It's about making deliberate choices and showing up each day with the intention of becoming a little better than you were yesterday. The more you practice intentionality, the clearer your path becomes. The more you align your thoughts and actions with your purpose, the more you'll begin to see the results manifest in your life. Your life is the result of the choices you make. Every day is a chance to move closer to the life you envision. Living with intent is the key to unlocking your fullest potential. It's time to stop drifting, stop waiting for the perfect moment, and start living with purpose. When you live with intent, the world responds differently. Opportunities open up. People are drawn to you. And suddenly the life you always dreamed of doesn't seem so far away. It's right in front of you, waiting for you to claim it. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not some grand, dramatic event that takes place in a single moment. No, transformation is the result of momentum, the small, consistent actions you take every day that compound over time to create massive change. The magic lies in the steady progression, the daily commitment to growth, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. This is the power of transformational momentum. I think of momentum like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, slow, and seemingly insignificant. But as it gains speed and size, it starts to become unstoppable. The same is true for personal growth. When you start making small, positive changes in your life, they may not seem like much at first. You might not see dramatic results immediately, and that can be discouraging. But trust me, the power is in the consistency. The key is to keep going, even when you don't see the big results right away. Every action you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. It's not about making massive changes all at once. It's about making small, meaningful shifts in your habits and mindset. It could be as simple as reading for 10 minutes every day, exercising for 20 minutes, or meditating for a few minutes each morning. These small, consistent actions may feel insignificant in the moment, but they are the foundation of something far bigger. Over time, these small efforts will snowball into something extraordinary. One of the most powerful aspects of momentum is that it starts to work for you rather than against you. Once you start making positive changes, you begin to notice that things start aligning more easily. Opportunities come your way. You start to feel more energized and motivated. The people around you begin to notice the shift, and suddenly doors begin to open. Momentum builds upon itself, creating a cycle of positive reinforcement that drives you forward. It becomes self-sustaining. And you'll find yourself in a place where taking action feels natural, even effortless. But here's the catch: momentum requires discipline. The first few steps are often the hardest because it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. This is when most people give up. They think that because they haven't seen dramatic changes yet, their efforts are futile. But this is where the power of transformational momentum comes in. The key is not to judge your progress by the results you see right away, but to measure it by your commitment to showing up each day. As you continue to build momentum, you'll start to realize that transformation isn't just about achieving goals, it's about who you become in the process. Each small action, each step forward, shapes you into a person capable of achieving even greater things. The confidence, strength, and resilience you build along the way are the true rewards of momentum. These qualities become ingrained in your character and will serve you in every aspect of your life. When you look back, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. The progress might not have been linear, and there may have been setbacks along the way, but when you commit to consistent action, momentum will carry you to places you once thought impossible. The power of transformational momentum is that it doesn't rely on big, dramatic events. It's the quiet, persistent progress that creates lasting, meaningful change. And that's what leads to real transformation. Your destiny isn't some distant, far-off dream. It's here right now, waiting for you to claim it. The idea of destiny often feels like something that happens to you, like it's controlled by fate or external forces. But the truth is, your destiny is shaped by the choices you make today. It's not in some grand future moment, it's in the decisions, actions, and mindset you adopt right now. We all have a vision of what our best life could look like, and for many of us, that vision feels just out of reach, like something for other people, not us. But here's the thing, your destiny doesn't exist somewhere out there, it exists within you. And it begins with the simple, yet powerful decision to take control of your life. You are the architect of your own future. And the choices you make today will lay the foundation for tomorrow. It starts with belief. You must believe that you are capable of creating the life you want. Far too many people settle because they don't believe they're worthy or capable of achieving their dreams. They wait for the right moment, thinking that the perfect opportunity will appear when everything is aligned. But let me tell you something, the right moment is now. If you wait for things to be perfect, you'll wait forever. The perfect time to start is the moment you decide to act, not when the stars align or when circumstances are ideal. Taking control of your destiny also requires taking responsibility. It's easy to blame the world for where we are in life, the economy, our upbringing, the people around us. But when you shift your focus away from external circumstances and start taking full ownership of your life, you realize the incredible power you hold. Your past doesn't define you, your choices do. Your future isn't determined by luck or chance, it's shaped by the actions you take right now. We all face challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. That's part of the journey. But let me tell you this, the challenges you face aren't roadblocks, they're stepping stones. They're opportunities to learn, grow, and prove to yourself just how powerful you really are. When you face adversity, you have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can use it as fuel to propel you forward. Every time you rise from a setback, you gain strength, wisdom, and resilience. These are the tools you need to shape your destiny. Your destiny also requires courage, the courage to pursue what you truly want, even if it feels uncertain or uncomfortable. It's easy to settle into the comfort of the known, but nothing extraordinary ever comes from staying in your comfort zone. To reach your full potential, you must be willing to take risks, embrace discomfort, and push yourself beyond what you think is possible. Finally, your destiny requires action. It's not enough to dream, plan, or wait for things to happen. You must take bold, purposeful steps every day to move closer to your vision. It doesn't matter how small the step is. What matters is that you're taking consistent, intentional action toward your goals. Action creates momentum, and momentum is what propels you forward. You were not born to live an ordinary life. Your destiny is not defined by the limitations of your past or by the opinions of others. Your destiny is yours to create. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment, stop waiting for permission, and start stepping into the life you were meant to live. The power is in your hands. Your destiny is waiting. The question is, are you ready to claim it?